Hey, y'all, this is Ryan Humbert from the Shootouts, and you're listening to the Show Me Music podcast live from the Barn Studio.
If love is like a two-man race, then I'm the guy in second place. Now I ought to learn to live and learn. I don't blame love, but I blame you for my heartbroken point of view. Falling from a bridge you just burned. I've got better things to do, better things to do. A better place for me is 100 miles from you. I've got better things to do, better things to do. A better love for me could be anyone but you. They say every dog will have his day. Lonely ain't no place to stay. It's better to have love than not at all. Words don't keep me warm at night. I need someone to hold me tight.
Hi, welcome to the Show Me Music podcast live from the Barn Studios in Southeast Missouri. Got the Mocs here, and I got a special guest online right now. We have Ryan from the Shootouts. Ryan, how are you?
I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. We are real excited. Josh Zanger from All Eyes Media, he sent us an advanced copy of your new record, Stampede, out February 24th. We're excited about this.
Hey, thank you so much, man. It was a labor of love, and we were honored to get to work with Mr. Ray Benson of Asleep at the Wheel in the producer's chair, and we are really excited for this one to get out there into the world.
Yeah, and it actually sounded like, I guess, from your bio a little bit, where you guys maybe weren't ready for the studio, but it wasn't in the plan, and then once you got that invite, you're like, yeah, we got to do this. We got to take advantage of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, we love being in the studio. I mean, it's really where I feel at home, just as much as being on stage. And, we were literally in the whole process of our last album, Bullseye. It had literally just hit the streets. We were, promoting the heck out of it. We were really busy and wrapped up in the whole campaign for that album when a mutual friend connected me with Ray, and he agreed to produce a record for us. And, that's an offer that's too good to refuse, right? I mean, Ray Benson, of course, a legend in country music. He's an encyclopedia of country music knowledge, I mean, general music knowledge, actually. And, we said it's obviously too good to pass up. We want to be able to work at the feet of one of the greats. And I will tell you, we had an absolute blast. It came about quickly. We were not planning to make a record that soon, but it just, all the pieces started falling together. And I'm a firm believer in sometimes you just have to let life do as it may. And, it all worked out, and we have this record to show for it now.
And he's not the only legend on this record. I mean, how many favors did you have to call in for some of the people that's on this and some of the people that helped out with it?
You know what, man? We've got as you mentioned, we've got some special guests on this record with us. We have Ray Benson and Asleep at the Wheel, of course, as well as Marty Stewart, Raul Malo of the Mavericks, Buddy Miller, and Jim Lauderdale. Jeez. And all of these guys have really been so supportive of what we do. They are encouraging. They offer advice and help. And it really, you would think that I had to, give an arm and a leg or whatever, to get these folks to do it. But I think they see and understand the mission and the authenticity of the Shootouts, and they understand where we're coming from. And I honestly think that some of these folks maybe see a little bit of themselves in what we do, because we're certainly influenced by every one of those guys. And so to have them agree to be on the record and put their name behind what we're doing, I mean, it just means everything to us.
Tell us what the country scene is like in northern Ohio.
What country scene?
Well, that was sort of my question is, I think it's more known for rock and roll and even sometimes rap music a little bit. So,
sure.
So coming up in Ohio, what was that like?
I'll tell you what, I think that if anything, I think that the one thing that connects Ohio to some other places where you would traditionally, recognize as a home of country music is that hard-working, Rust Belt work ethic that we have. And that's something that over the history of country music has certainly been a talking point, right, of country music, the hardworking,
right,
individuals, and Northeastern Ohio is no different than that. And as I'm sure a lot of towns across the country are no different than that. But, those of us that are in the Rust Belt, we're used to cold, hard winters and hot summers and having to work through every bit of that and still keeping your life, moving in the right direction. And I think that if anything, Northeastern Ohio, not necessarily known for country music, but that doesn't mean that there aren't a lot of country music fans here and influence here. I was largely influenced by my family when it comes to country music. And, you take that influence and you mix it with, what I learned as a musician in this area kind of before getting into country music, and you mix that all together. I think that's what being from Northeastern Ohio has offered the Shootouts is, a way to kind of take all these different things in, all these different genres. Of course, we're the home of rock and roll, right? Here in Cleveland and Northeastern Ohio. And as you said, there's many other influences. There's a lot of famous musicians from this area. So, you take all that, you mix it together with the influences, like I said, like family and things of that nature. And that's where the Shootouts, that's where we end up coming from.
And I saw maybe a year or so ago where you guys actually played the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like concert series that they have in their lobby area. What was that like for you guys?
The folks at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame have been friends of the band since pretty much we started, and I think that they saw in us what I would like to hope that others see is that yes, we're a country band, but we're doing it on our own terms, which just so happens to be trying to make sure that we are paying respect and carrying forth the traditions of the genre, but doing it the way we want to do it. And it's funny, I've had a few folks that have even said, gosh, you guys are as country as it gets, but you know what? There's a little bit of punk rock in there too. And maybe that's just the work ethic or the high energy level that we bring to our live shows. But, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, something clued them into the fact that we might be a good fit with them. And boy, it has been such a great relationship. Those folks up there, they're all huge music lovers. They are music nerds to the 10th degree. And, they've been so kind to us, having us in there. There were definitely a few folks that commented on that live stream that night and said, what the hell's a country band doing, at the Rock Hall? But so many other people stepped up and said, if it wasn't for country music, rock music wouldn't exist.
I think there's a lot of debate, at least I hear some, where a lot of people think that they should change the name of it, right? Because there are rap groups in there like NWA and some others. And then there's, Dolly Parton just got in. So do you think they should maybe change the name of it to where it's maybe just the Music Hall of Fame, or does it matter? What's your opinion on that?
I'm friends with a lot of those folks up there, and because we've done so much with them, I would say that I might be a little biased, but I don't think they should change a damn thing. I think that rock and roll is not just a form of music. I think there's too many people that get hung up on genre or just getting hung up on those titles, when rock and roll is also a bit of a mindset, and it goes back to work ethic as well, and it goes back to so many different things other than just the type of music you make. I mean, Johnny Cash arguably was more of a rock star than some of the folks that are in there.
Oh, absolutely.
So he lived a rock and roll lifestyle. So, that being said, he also had an incredible influence on so many rock and roll bands and so many rock and roll acts, again, that might not even have gotten into music if it wasn't for bands like Johnny Cash. Just because their music ended up being a little different from his, that doesn't mean he wasn't still a huge influence. I personally believe that they're doing everything right by honoring the bands that are rock and roll by genre, and then also honoring the folks that have influenced that genre as well. And somebody like Dolly Parton, man, she deserves every accolade.
Right.
She's a legend for a reason. She has a huge heart. She's constantly giving back. I don't care whether you're a rocker, a punker, you're old, you're young, you're gay, you're straight, you're black, you're white. Almost everybody loves Dolly Parton. That would include many of those rock and rollers,
Right. And I was thinking Willie too, right? I mean, everybody loves Willie. How can you not?
Correct. Right. So I don't know. I mean, I think some folks would say that my thinking on that is wrong, but, I think that rock and roll is more than just a style of music. It's a lifestyle. It's an influence. There's so many different ways you can look at that. I think they're doing the right thing.
I agree. Let's see what the studio audience thinks right here. Get the round of applause. I think it's semantics. I think, rock and roll is a spirit as much as it is a guitar tone.
Sure,
and
absolutely.
And if you have it, I think you belong there. So that's what we think anyway. We're excited for this record, Stampede Out 224. Tell us about some of the players on this record. I mean, these guys can flat out play.
Sure. Yeah. So I'll tell you about the band. My longtime partner in crime, Emily Bates, backing vocals. I've been singing with her now for 20 years, even since before we started the Shootouts. We were kids when we met, basically. And we love singing together. We love harmonizing together. So she's obviously a big part of the sound. And then I started the Shootouts with Brian Poston, our lead guitarist. Brian is absolutely a firecracker on stage. I mean, just to get to watch him play. We've been performing together now, gosh, just a little shy of a decade, and he still manages to surprise me on stage. And just, when you can work with somebody for that long and they can impress you still on a regular basis, that's a good spot to be in. And he is a true student of music. He's constantly practicing, constantly learning, constantly trying to better his craft. And I think that, first off, he's always been amazing. But I think that even watching him over the last few years, the last 3 records with this new one, he continues to grow, and that's an exciting thing to watch. And then, we had some other folks that played on the record. We had other various extended family members of the Shootouts, we like to call them, that played on the record. A gentleman by the name of Al Moss. We like to call him our Obi-Wan Kenobi. He was our pedal steel player for a long time until he was sidelined by a medical injury, but he's still a big part of what we do behind the scenes. And he helps write songs. He helps arrange. He was in the studio with us. He played acoustic guitar and a few things. We work with him on, even right now, we still practice at his house, and he's there to kind of offer his opinion and insight. And he's still a big part of what we do. So he was, part of the recording session with us. And, and of course, we also had some great players from Asleep at the Wheel that were there with us that stepped in, Dennis Ludeker and gosh, so many great folks that stepped in, Collins Forsyth. And then we also brought in a friend of the band by the name of Mike Daly. And Mike is the music director for Hank Williams Jr. And he is his pedal steel player. He played pedal steel on the whole record. And then, of course, we had all those special guests. And so it really, really was a fun record to make. We got to flesh these songs out the way we wanted to and got to do it with our friends.
So with the release of Stampede, what's the rest of 2023 look like for you guys? Is there a touring plan in the works? Are we going to get out and play the music for the people?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. We just last week we announced about 35 tour dates, and we're getting ready within the next month. We'll be announcing another batch of them. We leave on February 16th, and we are all over the place. We'll be in Georgia, we'll be in Texas, we'll be in Mississippi, we'll be in Tennessee, North Carolina. A little later in April and in May and June, we'll be up on the East Coast. We'll be in New York City and Pennsylvania, and I guess I'm kind of bearing the lead here, but on release day, February 24th, we are incredibly honored and just beside ourselves that we get to make our Grand Ole Opry debut.
Oh, wow.
So it's, we've got some fun stuff in the works. We're going to be on the road a lot this year. We're going to go out there and really kick the tires and take these songs out, as well as the songs from the last 2 records, and, make up for a little lost time there during the 2020 and early 2021. And, we can't wait to get out there and play these songs live. We've got a great, fun, high-energy live show. We're going to be in Memphis for the Ameripolitan Awards here in just a few weeks, or in a week before the Grand Ole Opry as well. We'll be playing Memphis, a showcase there. We're going to be in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. We have an official showcase there as well. So there will be a lot of opportunities for folks to hopefully come out and join us.
Are you guys doing physical copies of the record? Will there be vinyl releases, anything that people can get their hands on?
Yeah, actually, everything is available for pre-order right now, and we're getting ready. Well, actually, if anybody pre-orders stuff, they should have it before the record's even released. But we did 5 different colors of vinyl. We've got a whole bunch of new shirts, and gosh, we're doing baseball caps, but those are only going to be available at shows. We've got, just a bunch of fun things. Everything from koozies and tote bags to hoodies and CDs, and like I said, 5 different colors of vinyl. If you're a vinyl freak like I am.
It's pretty cool seeing that resurgence, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man, it's really fun. I kind of came to the vinyl game a little late a few years ago, probably around 2020. And boy, it just really feeds everything, that I love. I love the big artwork. I love seeing the fun, unique colors of vinyl. Obviously, I'm a music nerd as well. So there's just something fun about getting a new record, putting it on, because it's such a different experience than scrolling through a streaming service. I really love it. And, you're seeing the numbers tell you that other people love it too. Vinyl has outsold, CDs and digital over the last couple of years. And it's just because I think people are kind of craving that more unique personal experience.
It was really fun for me, if I could talk personally for a second. My oldest daughter is 12, and she is, this Christmas, she was really into vinyl. She wanted a record player, and she wanted all the Taylor Swift records. So it was like the first time I could go out and like, because I we got her obviously all the Taylor Swift stuff, but then I snuck in like a Fleetwood Mac. So I'm trying to put it in there because I think a lot of Taylor Swift and what she does, but just putting a little bit of that in there, and maybe when she's ready for it, it'll be there when she's ready for it. But that was a lot of fun as a parent, is to go out to all these different record shops and kind of search for some of these things.
Well, and I'll tell you what, that's something else that is such a lost art, too. I mean, nowadays people can just get online and get anything they want and need. And there's, you get that instant gratification, but does it last? And, to actually get in your car, go to a record store, or even order a record that you want from an independent record store and have them ship it to your house. There's that fun of waiting for it, and then it shows up, or you get it home from the store and you get to open it and put it on. It's just such a different experience. You have to be more, it's a more thoughtful approach to listening to music, really. And I think that there's maybe a bigger payoff there too.
It was exciting for us, I'll tell you that. This is the Show Me Music podcast, live from the Barn Studios. If you're listening to this, you're going to go out and get Stampede from the Shootouts on February 24th. The people that haven't heard any of the rest of the record, I know you guys have a few things released right now, but what can they expect to hear?
As I mentioned earlier, we're a pretty high energy band on stage. We do a lot of upbeat, faster type songs, a lot of showy guitar stuff with Brian. And we always try to make sure that comes across on the album as well. I'm a firm believer that if you're not having fun, that your audience isn't going to have fun either. And it was always been part of our mission statement is to, give people a chance to take their mind off the craziness of life by coming in and enjoying a show, right? That's why I like going to shows, right? You can get to take your mind off something for a few hours. So if we can offer that to folks, that's something that we strive to do. So with the record, there's a lot of fun, fast songs. There's a lot of really great instrumentation. There's an instrumental song on the album, as there is on every Shootouts record, that was written by Brian, our guitarist. This is the best one he's brought to the table yet. It's fast, it's fun, it's a total barn burner. That being said, there are a couple ballads on the record as well that are more kind of thoughtful ballad type tunes. But I don't like to be a band where everything sounds the same. So you're going to see the Shootouts kind of mixing the pot and representing Bakersfield, representing classic Nashville, representing Western swing, representing a little bit of California country rock, probably a little bit of Northeastern Ohio in there as well. So, we kind of take all the different things that we love and we filter them through our own influences, and we spit that out as a record. And I think that you're going to see a little bit of all of that with this record, as you will with really, I think, any of our records we've done.
Do you want to give out your socials and your website?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we are on all the socials. We have a TikTok, we've got a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then we are at Shootouts Music on all of those platforms. And then our website is shootoutsmusic.com, and that's where folks can pre-order copies of the album or any of the merchandise we've got, and they can also check out our tour schedule.
Ryan, we appreciate the time today.
Hey, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate the support. Thank you for supporting, independent music, and especially those of us in the Americana country world as well. And we can't do it without, the support of folks that like to tell their friends. And so it means a lot to us.
The Shootouts Stampede out February 24th. We'll be going out and getting it. We appreciate it, Ryan.
Thanks so much.
Then I'm the guy in second place. Now I ought to learn to live and learn. I don't blame love, but I blame you for my heartbroken point of view. Falling from a bridge you just burned. I've got better things to do, better things to do. A better place for me is 100